Alright, let's introduce index notation. Now this is a concept you're probably a little bit familiar with, and what it is, it's about writing long multiplication products in a shorthand. So it's writing things like this in this form. And so what we call this up here is we call this the index. You'll also see it called the power, and you may even see it called the exponent. Whereas down the bottom here, this is the base. And we say 3 to the power of 5, meaning 3 multiplied by itself 5 times. Now I'm sure you're familiar with this. I'll just do some quick examples. So we can quickly see the index form comes from the a's here. So we're going to have a to the power of 4, and then we just deal with the numbers. 4 times 5 is 20, so we get 20 a to the power of 4. Sometimes I may need to and so in this case it's actually 2 terms. I'd call this one term, that another term. I'd be writing it as the 2 out the front. A squared is a times a, b cubed, b times b times b. The plus goes in here, c to the 4, c times c times c times c, and that's expanded form. 3, we can use it to solve equations, so find n if 3 to the n is equal to 243. We could use guess and check on our calculator and just use our calculator, plug numbers in. A more systematic way is just to keep dividing by 3. It's a little bit laborious. 243 divided by 3, 81. Keep repeating this division by 3 until you get to an answer of 1, or to an answer you can't divide by. So 27 divided by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3, 3 divided by 3 is 1. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 243 must be equal to 3 to the power of 5, I can deduce from all of this. So therefore n is equal to 5. Now a further example is find n and p if 648 is equal to 2 to the n times 3 to the p. So I'll do a similar sort of thing to what I did in the previous question, and I'll start with 648, and I'll start by dividing by 2. So that's 324. 324 divided by 2 is equal to 162. 162 divided by 2 is equal to 81. 81 can't be divided by 2, so I know 648 is going to be 2 to the power of 3. There's 3 2's in there, times by 3 to some power. Now from my previous working, 81 was, bring this over here, 81 from here was 1, 2, 3. So it'd be 3 to the power of 4. So 648 is 2 to the 3 times 3 to the power of 4. So n must equal 3 and p equals 4 in this example. And looking at the answer, trying to generate some rule that will give us a shortcut method for operating with indices. Next lesson we'll look at formalising that rule. For this lesson it's just a matter of trying to start to look at that and start to think about it. I want you to complete the quiz at the bottom of the web page, and when you do this you're going to be writing indices on a computer, which is not easy to do, so we have a shorthand form. So if I wanted to write something like b times b times b times b, and I want to write that, I know that's b to the power of 4, on a computer I'd write it as b, use this symbol to the power of 4. So we'll write it like this. Notice whenever I've got these, they're not x's, they're times signs. And so if I have something like this, a squared all cubed, on a computer I would write that as a to the power of 2 all to the power of 3. Okay, remember this notation, and when you complete the quiz online use this notation.